Hey everyone, you join me on this delightful sunny day in London. Tonight we'll be dining at the Terra, a 2 Michelin-starred restaurant with roots in Brazil, Italy and beyond. But first, come with me to Scarf's Bar to enjoy a pre-dinner drink and let me tell you a little bit more about tonight's destination. Da Terra, meaning from the earth in Portuguese, is a restaurant rooted in memory, identity and discovery. Set inside the Edwardian charm of Bethnal Green's Town Hall Hotel, it's an elegant, quietly confident space where storytelling meets precision. At the helm is Rafael Cagali, a chef with Brazilian soul, Italian heritage, and a resume that reads like a who's who of European fine dining. From Villa Feltrinelli to Quique da Costa to the Fat Duck and Terra at Claridge's. He opened Terra in early 2019 and within just 8 months it received its first Michelin star. By 2021 the restaurant was awarded its second and has held it since. The food here is expressive, technical and deeply personal, drawing on Cagali's roots and his journey through kitchens across Italy, Spain and the UK. Expect playful nods to Brazil, touches of nostalgia and flavour combinations that feel both unexpected and utterly comforting. It's not just a tasting menu, it's a window into the chef's world. Let's go. Okay, so can I go for a pairing? And also I did see that you had Oremos by the glass, if I could supplement that for dessert. And can I get a glass of the Krug 172nd edition?
Yes.
Thank you.
We have a southern bag with calf, filled with some fish mousse, English base, and also stout silica jelly.
It's a poke, duck Caesar salad. We have duck ham, parmesan and pickle. Then on the plate next to it, the smoked eel mousse, the asparagus, confit lemon, and we finish it with some caviar.
The salted serene, confit tomatoes, and cabernet prawns.
So we finished all the stacks. If you like to follow me, I'll show you the dining room and we will continue.
Straight away, I love the tablecloths. Very neat, tidy look. There were 2 menu options, a shorter 5-course tasting priced at £185 or the full 8-course menu, which I went for at £245. A range of drink pairings were available along with a selection of wines by the glass.
It's a Riesling from Germany, from Pfalz, 2022 vintage. This one is from Andre Dardesheim. Aged short screen trout. It's served with nashiper, daikon, and Maialello with some trout roll and thin lime on top, accompanied with smoked pear juice, split with burnt chive or those little pops of the roe. To see it was fresh and we said it. Very sweet.
And this is a Matt Ford Bury Yellow of 2019.
Very in that was, of course, they're already serving up reds. There is more base, lighter, fresher, fruitier.
Also, when being sat, I'm right next to the station, talking very quietly. Like, I'm not going to be able to say a lot of things. I'm only one of 2 people here tonight so far. There is 2 areas to the dining room. I'm sat in the main area, so you've got the kitchen in front of me, then there's 5 tables in this area. Behind me, there's around 6 tables, so it's really small. Everything in close proximity, and besides for the music playing in the background, which is quite loud, but it's fine. I feel like if I talk any louder than this, everyone in the room can hear me. It feels like sound carries very far here.
Everything from the quail is here on our table. So we're going to have the breast on a skewer, then the legs will make it tortellini, the carcass make it consomme. Here you have the toasted brioche, the liver we're making a parfait, and you have the semi-truffle on top.
Can we appreciate the pasta making? To get an effect like that, they have to make a couple of doughs, line it up into strips, cut it out, and then roll it, press it, all that just for the design. I don't believe it does a huge amount for the flavour. I'm guessing they've either coloured it with squidding, charcoal, or maybe something quail related, I'm not sure, but either way. The brioche, it's soft, it's fluffy, perfectly toasted. It almost tastes like it's got kind of like a mousse and a jam. Very subtle. This consomme is incredible. Deep, flavourful. It has a lot of brightness and freshness to it as well. Consolini as well. From the perfectly al dente pasta to the intricate design to the beautiful wheaty filling. Amazing. Now I understand why they've given a red. Also this plate is kind of filled with feathers. Pretty cool. They've got this, I'm guessing it's a butter knife. In terms of the space, it's modern, it's minimalist. It's got a herringbone floor. You've got a huge marble island which kind of divides the dining room into the kitchen. Oil backsplasher. And then within the kitchen itself, I'm loving the deep green tones that almost match the leather on the seats. Big fan of these tablecloths. Gives it such a clean aesthetic. You get that feeling of being in a refined upscale plate. despite being the neighborhood we're in, but we'll talk about that later. But now, once you step through these doors, they're transported to a different world.
Starting with the bread itself, the whole meal sourdough loaf. To accompany that, in the center we have some roasted and whipped beef bone marrow. On top is puffed potato, fried sage and parsley, some fish bresaola. Butters in front of you, starting on your left, the house cultured sea salt butter, pink peppercorn butter, the green one is texturized olive oil. 100 Hills, so the producers are based in Oxfordshire. This particular cuvee is called Preamble Number 2, it's 2019 vintage.
It'd be nice to compare it against the crew.
Yeah.
Very intricate sourdough loaf. You didn't even cut it in half because that broke beautifully. This is the spiced one. Bone marrow, beef and sourdough. That is how you do a bread sauce. The crude with us. Insane. I mean, I went with a basic pairing, so I'm running a sparkling wine, but this just elevates it. And for a bread course of this caliber, it deserves crew.
Scarlet Cuvée from Gerard Bertrand, 2022 vintage, so this is a blend. There's a few different grape varieties, 3 to be precise, secrets of Sauvignon, Sauvignon, to sound.
So this dish is called moqueca. It's a traditional Brazilian stew. It being served with turbot.
I have pickled plantain, beans, and okra. The sauce is when you cook the core earlier on, farofa meaning toasted flour, or we toasted with a bit of mushrooms.
They also provide a bowl of chilies, and they pretty much said, add however much you want. So we're going to find out tonight how much is too much. Said start with 2, so we'll do 2 of each. I'll keep you posted. The green ones are very, very mild. The yellow ones pack up on. There's no warm up to it at all. I'm just feeling it. It's building and it's building. And they're being pickled as well. Get that burst of acidity come through and made intake. Traditional Brazilian dish which really been elevated to a level that I can enjoy. So flavorful. These chilies got such unbelievable flavor to them. Beautiful cutlery as well. I've just been presented with this masca steel looks so with a beautiful intricate wooden carved handle.
Try the chilies.
Love them. So flavorful. Hope I left some for the next customer. Loving the cutlery rests as well. I feel like these need to be souvenirs.
Chateau La Sec, Chateau Bianco, 2013 vintage. So it's a pretty classic blend.
The idea is like you would do in Brazil, we're going to have rice with the main course. So you're going to have the lobster tail, pickled wagyu tongue, beef chimichurri, with a confit shallot and a wild garlic oil.
So we've got a surf and turf wagyu beef with hen of the wood mushrooms, a chimichurri, an onion puree. They've even left the sauce over here, by the way. And then we've got a lobster rice. So lobster, those thin strands of kombu seaweed, shards of onion are pickled, brings this huge burst of acidity and sweetness. Those hen of the wood mushrooms are incredible, so deep in flavor. And you've got this lobster rice dish. Gorgeous piece of lobster. Easily the best lobster rice I'd ever had. That rice is a spar on its own, yet it's served as an accompaniment for the wagyu beef. This chimichurri is insane. I just want to take a spoon of it and drink it straight. That is insane. It's just insane. I feel like I'd love a piece of bread to follow that up. You can see I've literally drowned my beef in this sauce. The intensity and depth of that flavor is incredible. This is what they call a chimichurri. They have ruined chimichurri for me. I'm doing it. I'm adding the chimichurri sauce into the rice. Sorry, it has to be done. The best of all worlds. Also, banging playlist. Dreams by the Cranberries just came on. Feel like I need that in a takeaway bottle. You can't call that chimichurri. Best lobster rice I have ever had. Little Mr. Beef. Gotta note as well, the pairing's fantastic, every single one. By the way, perks of dining solo. I've just seen the table next to me getting the bread course. They got the exact same portion that I did, but they had to share it 2 ways.
Le Jardin de Papillon 2018, Jurançon from Italien.
Our Romeo and Juliet, which is a trendy silver cheese course between sweet and savory. Goat cheese flan, topped with guava gel, fennel, and Irish cracker.
A playful take on a cheese course. For comparison, this is the wine carrying size, and this is if you order by the glass. This was a supplement wine. Same spoon as the Ledbury.
So this here is our take on a roux. Instead of rum, we use cachaça pistachio ice cream. This canuga itself is actually aged. Finish it off, you'll find a little bit more cachaça.
Caviar on the dessert. That's a first for me. And he mentioned that there was also consomme of eggs of cachaça. I thought this is going to be way too boozy, but But if you eat it as they recommend from the top down with the caviar, the ice cream and the baba all together, the nuttiness from both the caviar and the ice cream and that salinity and boiling can really help cut through that. But otherwise, if you were to eat the baba alone, way too boozy.
From Italy, from Veneto in the north, the Maculan Torcolato 2022. The grape variety here is called Vespaiola.
For a dessert one, a very, very different profile to the last two.
Here we have a yogurt. We turn it into an ice cream. Inside you have a sabu. It's literally this tapioca pearl. We have this burned milk skin. Usually is known as an Amazonian nutmeg. And you have the strawberry ponzu.
Firstly, the balance of sweetness to tartness in that strawberry consomme, perfect. Textures as well, especially that cheeriness coming from tapioca pearls, the crispiness from the milk skin. Overall, this dish has a perfect balance. It's coffee time. This was another one of the places that had a selection of coffee beans to choose from.
Tunji we made using egg yolk, little bit of coconut. Macaron is filled with sweet corn ganache.
Followed by a piece of fudge. That was passion fruit fudge. Amazing texture on that. And for the final bite today, jelly with a piece of mango and a herb on top. Interesting though, so it wasn't made especially for me. Had I been at a 3-star establishment, as you've seen at previous places I've been to, they would have reprinted the menu with the wines, they would have added the croup that I had, they would have added the orimus I had of the dessert. This is really, really nitpicking, but just trying to hopefully convey the slight nuances which differentiate 2 to 3-star is to really, really going above and beyond to beyond expectation almost. And we got a little takeaway something. For now, just gonna finish up my coffee, finish up my wines, and I'll catch up with you for the outro. The total for today came to just under £600, service included. Thank you so much. It was an incredible evening. Thank you. Thanks. I'm walking around doing this intro because when you walk out of the establishment, it's not the kind of place you leave a camera lying around. I mean, this is what it looks like when you walk out. We'll come back to location. The space itself is absolutely incredible. It's modern, it's chic, the seating is comfortable. The continuity is thoughtfully done, down to the green accents that carry over from the chairs to the kitchen cabinets. It's not overly sophisticated. There's lovely bits of art dotted around the place. The table decor, it's clean, down to the tablecloths, which are those, think of a fitted bed sheet, but for a table, so there's nothing hanging at all. The lounge area too, where we had the Amuse Bouche, beautiful, clean space as well. It kind of had its little nooks, its shelves. I didn't really talk about the Amuse Bouche either. When I got here, I was just one of 2 guests present, and the room is quite small. Now, onto the staff. They're all very meticulously dressed. However, that is where the formalities stop. They are warm, friendly, engaging. I did feel it did take a bit of time for some of them to get warmed up almost, but I felt the same as well. I don't know why. Perhaps it was my seat in the dining room being in proximity of their station, so I felt like everything I was saying could be heard. They got to stage after a couple of glasses of wine where I didn't really care if they heard what I had to say. And then onto the food. The pacing of this meal was absolutely spot on from beginning to end. Presentation, flavors, delivery, meticulous, perfect, adventurous, daring. I loved that he was happy to play around with spice. I honestly wish I would have seen some more spice incorporated into the menu because it was absolutely fantastic. Onto location. For me personally, this is the first time I've been to Bethnal Green, not an area I'm familiar with, and honestly, it's the kind of place I would personally avoid being at night. That being said, the minute you walk through the doors, you feel very comfortable, it feels familiar, and after having dined here tonight, it is definitely more worthy than some of the 3-star establishments in London. Given its location, questionable. I mean, I did ask them about it, do they get a lot of well, they get 0 locals these days. They did say when they opened up, but again, when they opened up, their price point was probably significantly different to how it is today. That's another thing to mention, sustainability of a restaurant, because it is a midweek Wednesday evening, but I counted at least 14 staff. There were a total of 14 guests, myself included. If you find yourself in London, I would highly recommend coming to the Terra. And of course, I really appreciate the little brigadero, which I'll enjoy once I get home tonight. And as usual, thank you for watching. On to the next one. Goodbye.